Hey, is it gonna load? Okay, here we go. Um, let's continue. We went into the guest room. I didn't have a proper outro last time because I wasn't looking at the time. I accidentally recorded overtime, so I'm gonna have to edit that video when I post it. I'm gonna have to trim it. So you won't actually see me entering the guest room in that video. But here we go, we're in the guest room.
My journal is gone. What would they want with my journal?
This is part 7 of Amnesia the Dark Descent, I think. Piece of oil.
July 1839. I received a letter today from the Algerian governor's office disclosing the fate of Herbert's expedition. About a week after my departure, Abdullah, one of the men traveling with us, returned from the desert. He was badly injured, as if maimed by a lion. The man rambled deliriously about the expedition being attacked by something horrible. The French quickly dispatched a search party to look for the expedition. After searching for days, they found the camp abandoned without any trace of Herbert or his men. Tomorrow, I'll retrieve the things they recovered from Herbert's tent at the customs house. I don't know what to make of it, but I'm worried for him.
Daniel?
What?
Still having nightmares, I see.
Yes, I can't shake them. They come every night.
We'll put a stop to them. You'll see.
Let's read this.
3rd of July, 1839. Today I picked up Herbert's things at the customs house. I dug through the trove of documents he had carried and found a log detailing the expedition. The nature of this text ranged from quick notes to colourful accounts of transpired events. I skimmed the pages, trying to figure out what might have happened. May 17th, the day I was trapped inside the orb chamber, Herbert dryly states, "Recovered Daniel after 1 hour of entrapment." This confused me greatly. I was suffocating within minutes. How could I have lasted an hour? I continued reading the peculiar text. Herbert states his facts without judgment or passion, but suddenly I could read frustration into his text. He pushed his men to investigate the underground tomb, an effort which seems to have strained the minds of his men. Madness spread through the ranks, and Herbert had to take some extreme measures to continue. He finally visits the chamber himself, where he retrieves the orb to the surface. His account confuses me greatly. If he has the orb, what are those pieces in my drawing room?
No. And the thing about that is that's the only time you hear about there being another orb in there. He doesn't even mention it anywhere else, so that part of the story is kind of confusing to me. So, is that actually Herbert talking? So we gotta get into this room. Broken lock, I know. We need, let's use this then.
The key. Please, let it be here.
But this part is easy. The monster will spawn when I go to that corner over there. Before I kept hiding in the closet, but literally you could just run around him and hit the door. So, go grab the key that's in here.
Well, thank God, there it is. I guess it is a good place to hide it then.
Let's read this final diary.
4th of July, 1839. It's done! The orb is assembled. I was awakened by an exhausting nightmare. Shaking and sweating, I retired to the drawing room with a cup of tea. The relic pieces lay spread across the table as I'd left them, but somehow I knew how it was supposed to be. I fetched the tar, which I had prepared to fix the pieces together, and without fault I joined them, producing the orb I remembered so clearly. The tar proved unnecessary. It was pushed out from the joining pieces as they merged on their own, with no adhesive. The ancient stone relic now rests on my table. Its immaculate surface and perfect shape could have been molded by a factory. This is all too strange.
Strange indeed. Hi. Bye. It's literally that easy. People just hide in the closet when you could literally just run around. It's time to start losing the lantern. Now it's that darkness theme again. It was so nice in here, and the fountain's all bloody. I am running the heck out of here. Bye. Gotta fix this elevator and head down to the dungeons. I think I should be done with the machinery by the time time's up, because it honestly doesn't take that long. At least when I'm done with the levers, there's levers you have to pull, and then you have to insert the rods in these holes and things. But then after that, you have to assemble gears, and you have to feel like the furnace, and then you can pull the lever and start it. But I think I'm just gonna do the levers and rods before I run out of time.
It's cold.
It is
It's
cold.
so
Okay.
5th of July, 1839. Today I went to the university looking for answers. I was able to sneak into Herbert's office and pick up an address book along with some relevant textbooks. Professor Taylor at the Faculty of History was very helpful, and I managed to approach the subject of the orbs. The most interesting aspect was the prevalent trace they had left in our culture. The mythic orbs may, in fact, have inspired the globus cruciger, which so many royal regalia holds to this day. In ancient times, the orbs were held by priests as a symbol of the sun and its power. As I was leaving, I overheard a disturbing conversation. Sir William Smith, the geologist, was killed last night. Less than a fortnight had passed since I'd asked for his expertise.
Remember his
I know
name,
it's silly,
right?
but I can't help feeling responsible somehow.
That some shadow is after you. Yeah, I hear that shadow noise. Okay, I think it's something. I'm not. It's some pattern. I think there's 3 in the middle, and like it's opposite of that. So that's done. Nothing else up here. Let's get these rods done, and there's 2 gears I need that are in this room. Looking around, I'm trying to save oil consumption here. There's a gear right there. I'm going to be using that. That gear likes to glitch when I grab it. I accidentally get it glitched in the wall, and then I have to start this whole part over. It's not a diary, this is just a note. You can read that note if you want. It's basically the same thing that was in the storage. So here's the diary. Let's go.
14th of July, 1839. I've read every book I can find on the subject. While rich in legend and hearsay, my knowledge is lack for the insight I crave. I've sent letters to many in Herbert's address book and received answers of varying importance. Today, I got one which differed greatly from the others. From a baron in Prussia. He said nothing about the quaint stories of priests in underground temples. He didn't even mention them. He simply wrote, "I know. I can protect you. Come to Brennenburg Castle. Signed, Alexander." What am I to make of this? Protect me from what? Is someone after me? I looked up Brennenburg and traced it to the Prussian woods near the Baltic Sea. While being the least informative letter I've received, it causes me greatest distress and interest. As I write, my thoughts are drawn to my nightmares in which a most disturbing sound calls to me. A sound defying description. A voice from the void. The last few weeks have been awful, with so many sleepless nights dreading a repeat of those horrid dreams. Tomorrow, I shall visit my physician, Dr. Tate, in hope that he can provide me with sedatives to help me sleep.
Well, it's fun. It's like this. Oh yeah, I forgot. This here. Yeah, I'm gonna run out of time. This is another diary read. I might go ahead and assemble all these things, but I might just read the diary and then continue this for years. Here and there. Alright, so. I'm gonna leave it here for this episode. Next, I'm gonna read this diary, and then I'm gonna complete this and then escape. So, hope y'all enjoyed this part. I'll be back tomorrow for. I might go ahead and record it, but I'll be back tomorrow for part 8. This is part 7, concluding part 7 of Amnesia the Dark Descent. I will save and quit here. Hope y'all enjoyed this part, and sorry for the lack of outro in the last part. I accidentally went over time, so I'm gonna have to trim it. I'm not gonna add the proper outro or anything. I might cut some of the beginning instead, or something. I don't know, but I hope y'all enjoyed this part, and bye.